Good afternoon. It is with tremendous honor that I stand here before you representing the Bigfoot High School class of 2020. And it would not be appropriate of me to begin this quite lengthy speech with any words other than those expressing the deepest gratitude and sincerest appreciation of all those who have helped get us to where we are today. On behalf of the class of 2020, I would like to thank our administrators for their governing and guiding oversight that brings structure to our halls, to our staff for setting the foundation of the educational framework that allows students the opportunity to pursue a well-rounded and preparatory education, to our educators who have dedicated their lives to our instruction and growth as not only students of Bigfoot High School, but citizens of our community, our state, and our nation, and to our families and friends who have provided us the love and support required to flourish and prosper not only in our educational endeavors, but our personal lives. We thank you. I would like to take the time to personally thank the Martin family, the Casconi family, and the Raskin family for graciously opening their homes to me when I was without one. On top of that, I would also like to thank Danelle Lawler, Stacy Shepard, Allison Crick, Danielle Dunham, Angela Galata, Molly McEnany and her family, AJ Courier and his family, and Abby Peterson and her family for providing me the love and support required to have gotten me to where I am today. Thank you. As a class born in the looming shadow of the 9/11 terrorist attacks, having witnessed the calamities of gun violence and the threats of climate change broadcasted across all social media platforms, and now graduating during a global pandemic that has affected the lives of far too many, we are a class that is like no other. We have a profound understanding of letdown and disappointment. We are a class that knows the deepest of pain and strongest of heartache, a class who has experienced it firsthand. We are a class united through our trials and tribulations, but it is an embodiment of and testimony to our strength. I was in the first grade when I first experienced domestic violence in my own home. It was the fifth when my dad was legally charged on account of his severe alcoholism. The sixth when my mom found out, to her disbelief, that I was gay and made it her personal duty and undying mission to do all that was in her human power to rid me of it. And the 11th, when I was kicked out of the house with only one pair of pajamas and a battered pair of sandals. Everyone has a story. As beings of survival, we often forget that others have lives of their own. We forget that others are struggling with grief, experiencing persecution, suffering diseases, and living in poverty. We forget that others are battling starvation, living with mental illness, and fighting for their rights. We forget that everyone has a story to tell. I was raised in Greenfield, Wisconsin, a suburb of Milwaukee, in a 3-bedroom and 1-bathroom house I shared with my parents, 2 younger brothers, and older sister. I moved to Darien, Wisconsin during the summer of my 7th grade year, where I was to attend Phoenix Middle School during my 8th. I found it extremely challenging to fit in and find belonging. I felt like an intruder and an outcast and was made to feel as though I was. It was not until my 9th grade year at Bigfoot High School that I found home. I found people who cared for me, people who loved me, and people who supported me. I am standing here before you and giving the valedictorian speech that is representative of my academic success and an embodiment of my scholarly achievements throughout my time at Bigfoot High School. But for me, it was never about the numbers. Looking back and reflecting upon my many years of public education, I found that too often students are defined by numbers, almost as if they were code to a cumulative algorithm that was somehow designed to equate success and achievement in education. But the fact of the matter is this: your transcript doesn't define you, your ACT score doesn't define you, and your class rank doesn't define you. I personally believe that it is not the grades and it is not the test scores that define a student, but rather their character and their heart. I have grown and learned far more through social interaction than I believe I ever will within the confines of a classroom or lecture hall. And what I have learned is this: kindness prevails. Kindness is easy. It requires no grade point average, no athletic ability, no musical talent, and no leadership characteristics. Kindness is wisdom. It is self-awareness and strength. It is a sign of maturity and self-growth. And perhaps the most beautiful and most uplifting thing about kindness is this: kindness is blind. It sees no ethnic background, no religious, cultural, or political affiliation, no socioeconomic status, no gender identity, and no sexual orientation. Every morning before school, I ensured before I walked the halls and before I interacted with others that I chose kindness that day. Apart from whatever may have happened at home the night prior, and apart from how I might have been feeling because of that, I put a smile on my face and made sure none of it surfaced or was projected upon anyone, as there was no one who deserved it. I would not let any of it be released through the means of negativity or belligerent behavior, and the reason being this: why fight fire with fire? In choosing negativity, I would be choosing to put hate into the world rather than trying to overpower the hate with kindness. I would be succumbing to the weakness, immaturity, ignorance, and insecurity that is negativity. Instead, I had figured out how to deal with these hardships while life simply continued onward without a trace of empathy. It made me discover healthy outlets to help express and bring closure to my feelings and emotions to ensure I could become a productive learner and an overall kind human being. Kindness has the power to inspire and to motivate. It's the difference between a good day and a bad day. Kindness is what will make this world a better place for many generations to come. It is my hope that the class of 2020 is known as a class that has such tenderness and such sensitivity toward one another that it sparks a movement of such compassion and such influence that it speaks volumes to the masses through actions and gestures of kindness. Bigfoot High School class of 2020. In these strangely foreign and otherwise trying times, I've had the time to sit back and reflect on my time at Bigfoot and have found contentment and peace amidst the panic and isolation that has quickly consumed our daily lives. I realize that although we have missed out and weren't given the opportunities that were anticipated, we are a class that has quite the story. We are a class that has witnessed and experienced matters of great sensitivity and great severity. We're a class that is united through our strength and through our unshaken ability to overcome. We're a class that has and will continue to withstand whatever may come our way, which makes our triumphs all the more sweet and our successes all the more rich. We are the class of 2020. Congratulations. Our story has just begun.